Last week, we traversed the mountains high above Ouray, Colorado by Jeep, which is fitting for the place known as the Jeep capital of the world. In today's episode, we explore a not-so-well-known national park. You can see the river all the way down there. Before finding more beautiful boondocking,
as advertised, delicious,
and eating and hiking our way through Crested Butte, Colorado. If you're new here, we're Howard and Caitlin Newstate, digital nomads and full-time travelers who've been jet-setting and road tripping for 2 years. We recently spent 5 months RVing through central Mexico and headed back to the U.S. to explore more of our home country. Each week, we bring you along with us to experience all the amazing places our little home on wheels takes us. It's another beautiful morning here in Colorado, and after we finished our epic Jeep tour last night, we got some awesome tacos and then drove about 45 minutes to this boondocking spot right outside of Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. It was a park that I had never heard of until Don and Jason told us that they were going to come here. We're going to go do a driving loop today and a couple of hikes. A lot of the more intense hikes you have to have permits for. There were 2 that we could get permits for, but we kind of got a late start today, so we weren't sure that that was the smartest decision to go down into the canyon in the middle of the day. But we're excited to check out another national park here in Colorado. Ominous and scary.
What's that?
Look at the bus driving off and then the cliffs with the faces. Like, to scare you.
So do not be these people, otherwise you will end up at the bottom like these poor people. Oh!
Almost to the point. So we hiked to Warner Point Overlook where we can get a good view of the canyon. The trail that continues on you need a permit for, but this one's a 1.5 mile round trip, so not too bad. We drove over to the trailhead and parked. Black Canyon in the Gunnison was designated a national park in 1999, and it gets its name because the walls of the canyon look black, but they're not actually black. It's because the crevices are so deep that those intense shadows create a black look. So that's where the name comes from, which is pretty cool. We're at the Pulpit Rock Overlook, and you can see the river all the way down there. And it's also really neat because the rocks right now actually look black. Over millions of years, the Gunnison River has cut a jagged path through the canyon, carving out steep cliff walls and giving you breathtaking views from above. We found out that unlike the Grand Canyon, there is a way to drive down to the bottom and take in the scenery from a totally different angle.
Don't look at the camera. Okay, we are on a 16% grade right now. Don't look at the camera. Heading down the east portal road to the bottom of Gunnison. And we're gonna go all the way to the Gunnison River. Here we are.
Seeing the pristine Gunnison River flow through the canyon floor with the towering rocks above is beautiful. And if you have more time, you can actually camp here at East Portal Campground. Black Canyon of the Gunnison was designated an international dark sky park in 2015, so you can expect some epic stargazing too. After getting our national park fix, we loaded up the RVs and made the 3-hour drive to one of Colorado's numerous ski towns, Crested Butte. We found a free campsite about 15 minutes outside of town on Washington Gulch Road. It was crowded, but the views and location were great. We are in the adorable downtown area of Crested Butte, Colorado. Today was the first day we didn't move since Sunday, which was nice. So we took the day to catch up on work, and now we are downtown to meet Don and Jason for dinner at a very highly recommended pizza place. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, that also has a really awesome public service aspect to them, like what they've been doing during COVID-19.
The secret stash and their delicious pies are a staple of Crested Butte, but when COVID-19 hit, the owner had to lay off most of her employees. That's when she saw a need and jumped into action, using Facebook Live to solicit donations, resulting in free weekly farmers markets to feed out-of-work locals, operating right out of her pizza joint. With the help of local businesses and people who own second homes here, she crowdfunded over $100,000 and 11 weeks of free food for those in need. You can see the community aspect throughout the restaurant. On the menu, there's a section encouraging tips for kitchen staff that's used for housing and to offset the cost of living here. Secret Stash will even match any tip of $1,000. Who doesn't love good pizza for a good cause? We looked for a dog-friendly trail on all trails, and the trailhead ended up being right down the road from our campsite, which is pretty funny. And because of the elevation change, it was definitely a hike up to get there, but then it just opens up into this beautiful lake, and people bring picnics and paddleboards. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful hike. Let's go.
After some exercise and taking in the beautiful views, we headed back into town where we stumbled across the adorable and oh so delicious mini donuts joint, Niky's. Every little delicious masterpiece is made to order.
Catherine?
Reese's, Sopapilla, as advertised. Delicious.
I'm here for the Reese's. Oh my goodness. It's gonna go great with my ice cream.
The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and Death by Chocolate
If I have to go, that's the way to go.
were my personal favorites.
First you said cone or cup, then it was waffle or cake, and then it was pink or purple. That was waffle or cake? Waffle. Pink.
Sadly, it's time to leave one of the most beautiful boondocking spots we have ever stayed in. Look at this backyard. It's just so picturesque. We are in Gunnison National Forest, and we'll put a link below to the exact spot that we boondocked in because it's so beautiful. And it's only about 15 minutes to downtown Crested Butte. Next week, we show you where and how we've been camping for free throughout Colorado for almost 2 months.
So beautiful.
Hello from yet another amazing, totally free campsite here in Colorado.
We just got to our next boondocking spot, and it is so epic.
The spot is beautiful. Not level.
We'll share our tips, tricks, and favorite boondocking spots in this gorgeous state.
It's a little tricky to get into. How was that? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst we've driven through.
And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications every time we post our weekly episodes. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.